Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. So excited to be back with Elsa Nilson. We are here to talk more about the work she does as a HSR certified professional interior redesigner, decorator, and professional organizer from Elsa's Divine Design. Welcome, Elsa herself. How are you today, sweetheart?
I'm doing great. Thank you, Jill. So nice to be back to speak to you again.
Same here. I think we're both in happy moods. I feel like the spring is upon us, and you're down in Georgia, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Probably a lot nicer than what it is here. What's the weather today?
It's nice and warm, but there is a storm coming. So I'm just so happy that we can still connect this morning.
Oh my goodness. What are we going to do? This is insanity. We're excited to be here. We're going to talk more today, obviously, about the work you're doing. So please introduce yourself to everyone before we start.
Hi, I'm Elsa Nilson, and I have a redesign business, decorating, professional organizing, but I go a little step deeper. I'm
Uh-huh.
going with I'm also a life coach, a certified life
Certified HCI life coach. Go ahead. Point it
coach.
out. Point it out. Go ahead.
And also a health coach, and also a master coach. And so I just love helping my clients really deep, going deep, and help them with that clutter inside, outside, wherever, whatever comes up for them.
Oh my goodness. A woman with many accolades here. Excited. And just curious, I know when you're certified HCI life coach and HCI health coach, what is the HCI just for someone like me? Curious?
It's the Health Coach Institute.
Perfect. And then you're certified ICM master coach. Can you explain a little bit about
That
what
that
that
is
is?
the Institute for Coaching Mastery.
Wow. Wow. Is
Yeah.
there anything you don't do?
Yeah, there's definitely things that I don't do and that I can do.
But one thing we all have in common, let's be honest, it's relationships. Life is all about relationships, right? Every single
Yes.
day of our lives. And I know that's something that you also specialize with. And maybe you can help me. And I'm sure you can. A lot of people out there, because some of us suffer with relationship issues and we will. But we're going to talk a little bit about maybe some of the back reasons of why. And of course, how you help your clients get through this. So, first and foremost, we are talking about relationships in marriage today, right? And or your partner in a sense. Let me ask, your little take about relationships. Tell me a little bit of, over the years in your expert field, tell me more about what you've noticed and seen in couples.
I've seen how they can suffer and how childhood wounds can influence the relationship. And people just really don't know. And I really start realizing it after my divorce, when I looked back and looked at the template of that relationship. And that is when I started seeing, all the things in that relationship that went wrong, and the things that I really didn't like, the things that just repulsed me. It's all part of childhood wounds that I just never healed from. And even anybody that went through a divorce before will know, after the divorce, it's not like, okay, everything is now just sweet and nice again. There's a lot of grief that's going on after the divorce for a person, with family members that you're not with anymore, that you really get to love on the other side, and your children that you see suffer and things like that. So also that part I could see, it's a part of a childhood wound that I didn't even realize I had, that I didn't get to work on, and that I didn't heal. So I want to tell you about this childhood wounds that influence relationships. Um, there is a therapy called the imago therapy. It is a relationship therapy that was created by Dr. Hendricks and Dr. Helen Hunt. And the two of them use this dialogue method that they use in their couple therapy. And what this therapy is about, it is actually a therapy that shows us that we pull a partner into our lives that actually mirrors the caregiver that we had the hardest time with when we were growing up. And all of that is just nature's way of helping us to heal. So, in that way, with that therapy, when we call in somebody that we really like, we really want to be in a relationship with this, we just click in the beginning, everything is going really well. It's actually the caretaker that you had the hardest time with, but you never healed that wounds, and you still want to heal that wounds. Unconsciously, you still want to heal that wound. So now you are inviting this person into your life. And what is amazing is that it's just part of the psyche that try to help you to completely heal and grow more complete as well.
Wow. Okay, so hold on. Let me just get this straight because I'm obviously as a human being, I'm listening to your speaking. I'm thinking I had a lot of serious childhood trauma with my parents never getting along, very jealous father, very horrible. And I'm here at 47 still single, thinking I'm over this and I can learn to trust, but I have an issue with this. So I
Mhm.
know I have childhood wounds. And I felt like over the years I kept attracting someone that wasn't right for me. They were kind of everything my father was, the jealousy, the this and that. And now all of a sudden, I meet someone recently. And again, it's like I'm so scared to let someone in. So is this kind of what
Mhm.
you're saying? And is it eventually will you attract that right person? Is can you just explain what happens in your mind and how you let people in? But I feel like this one might be different.
Yes, the truth is that is part of nature unconsciously helping you to try to heal.
Yeah.
So actually, that is not a wrong partner. It is a good partner. And that partner is actually going to be the one that's going to help you to heal. But of course, because he's so different from you, he's also not going to be able just to, from the beginning, just give you what you need and what you want from him most. But if you both understand that a relationship is not only about feeling good and get your own needs met, but it's actually about your own soul and your own recovering of your soul. If you both
Wow.
understand that and you can support each other through that things when a trigger comes up, and you understand that is just a childhood wound and I am the partner of this person. So then you can really help each other to really deeply heal. Can you imagine what a gift that must be?
Oh my goodness, it's beautiful. I just got goosebumps. Really? Really?
Yes.
Well, how do you, what is a practical way that you would can find, when are you in a relationship with someone that is really available to you? How do you, know, and how do you kind of regulate the nervous system in a positive way and not run and get fearful?
Oh, yes, yes, that's a very good question. So, with the imago therapy, relationship therapy way, how you do it, and that's a very good method. My husband and I use this a lot when we do couple counseling together. Um, Very first thing what you do is you take a pause when you are in this deep discussion, it's getting flared up, or one gets too excited, or you start raising your voice. The best thing is to do is to just take a pause. So just tell your partner, it doesn't seem like this is a good time to talk about this. I need a pause. I'm going to go to the gym for 2 hours and I'll be back and we can discuss this.
Yeah?
Or I'm going to make quickly a meal, a dinner. It's time we both are hungry. And when we sit down with our dinner, we can discuss this. Now, when I say take a pause, I mean a pause, but you give a
Yeah.
timeline. Give
Okay.
an hour and a half, give 2 hours, but come back to it. If you don't say a day, 2, 3 days, 10 days, and just sweep it under the rug, that is not going to help. That is just going into an avoidance pattern. That is not giving a pause. Then the second thing I would say while you're doing the pause, what you need to do is to take responsibility for yourself. The things that you said wrong. Take responsibility for your own mind. Take responsibility for your own nervous system, for your own emotions. Don't just going up in your head in that time while you're pausing and start blaming your partner for everything that you think he said wrong.
Yeah.
But take the time, think about your own self, take responsibility for that, and then after the pause, when you come back, that is when you're going to start the clearing process, when you're in that conversation with your partner or your husband or your wife. And how that's going to go, I'm just going to give you an example.
Sure.
After, because it's always going to be a dialogue. And in the beginning, it's going to be hard for you, but in time, because it's kind of going to feel really not normal, but in time, the more you do this dialogues, it's just so easy and it keeps your nervous system so down. It will
Okay.
go something like this. I will tell my husband, honey, when you really got upset today,
Uh,
why were you really upset?
yeah.
And you would go, I came from work, you came from work, and I was watching TV, and you said that I never do nothing around the house.
Uh,
And that really hurt me. And then I will go, okay, so what I hear you say is that when you came back very tired, sitting in front of the TV, I said that you never do nothing around the house. Is that correct? And then you would say, yes, you heard correct. That's what I said. And then it will be my turn to apologize because now I know the information is correct. So, and then I will say, I am so sorry. I really didn't mean that. I know you do a lot around the house.
mm-hmm.
Um, what made me upset is because we both came from work, we both were tired, and you saw that I was still cooking and cleaning the kitchen and had to do a bundle of laundry, and you just went and sat in front of the TV and you didn't even ask me if you could help me. So that really upset me. So then we'll go back to him. He will ask the same question, like, did I hear correctly that you said this and this? I can listen carefully because sometimes they don't hear correct. And then you have to, just say it again so that they can get it. And then you get to the place, yes,
Yeah.
that's what you, and then it's his time to apologize. And he would say
Good.
something like, I am so sorry. I realize now that I was very selfish. I was just so tired. I was just thinking about myself,
Yeah.
not realizing that you were tired too. So next time when we both get home and I see that you're very busy, I will ask you, with what chores can I help you so that we can get it done quicker, so that we can sit down together quicker and enjoy TV and dinner together. And always on the end, when you're done with that, it's good to get up with after the conversation, just to hug each other, to feel that closeness, that you know you are allies and that you are still there. And that will be awesome because then everything is sorted out. It was in a clear and calm, structured way that the dialogue went. You both understood it. And then everything will be smooth sailing. But
Yeah.
just until the new activating force comes in again, something in your
Yeah.
life, and then something new enters, or something, you know, children are born, and now everything is a little bit wacko. And but the big thing is, if you have that dialogue down and you know how to not just blame and take responsibility for your own nervous system, and you can keep on clearing out every time something comes up, that's how you actually grow closer together and understand your partner better.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you so much. This is helping me, and I hope a lot of people out there with their relationships. And, people also suffer with how do you know maybe if this one is not working for you, right? When do I stay? Do I go? And is there guiding principles maybe that you can, fill us in and give us some guidance here today that could help us get through and help us maybe find our own truth and answers to this?
Yes, yes, Jill, that is a question I think for the most people in any relationship comes up sometime or another. When
Mhm.
you don't jive well, when you have a lot of up and downs, you a lot of times ask that question. And what is more, a lot of times turn to a trusted family member like your sister or your brother or a best friend that you really trust. And you even ask them, this is coming up in this relationship. What is your advice? Do you think I should go or should I stay? But the truth
Yeah.
is, nobody else can tell you. Doesn't matter what good intentions that person have. It
Mm-hmm.
is your relationship, you living that relationship, and it's something that you have to decide about yourself. And there's only actually one way that you can figure this out and know if you should stay or if you should go. And what you should do is actually when you decide, I'm getting to that question that I don't know if I should stay, what you need to do is to go all in with the inner work. You have to do the inner work to get all these childhood wounds, to get them up to the surface. And people don't understand how well trained life coaches are these days that can really help you to overcome that. And once you've done that, and you are fully embodied, coming
Yeah.
to the table fully embodied, you are the partner that you want to co-create with somebody else, and you want to be the same partner that is reflecting how you are and how much you put in, it will be very clear because one of two things are going to happen. Or the partner or your husband or wife is going to rise to the occasion and they're also going to put in the work. And because they love you, they see how you change and they will just follow. Or you will just see this is clearly not a match. This person is not putting anything, he's not doing the work, or she's not doing the work. And they think all the fault is with me. They have
Yeah.
nothing wrong. And then you will clearly know. So that little shift of just putting all the inner work in, show up fully embodied to be that partner, and that guy or girl is still not showing up, you will clearly know.
Oh, wow. Wow. Thank you for all this. And we want to talk about more tips too that you have for us in relationships. And, but answer these people who are willing to do the work. We do have to commit. You do have to work at it. And it's good to be working together, right?
Yes,
And
yes,
so
that's for
it's,
sure.
by the way, how long have you been married for?
13 years, my second
Second.
marriage, 13 years. Yes.
And so let me just ask, I know you did share your experience in the past. Do you think if you had the knowledge and with all this earlier that could have saved your old marriage? Like, do you think if
Oh,
people really have these skills, it can change everything
it
or
can
anyone?
change. Yeah, it changed everything. It changed everything. And it doesn't even matter what route you and your partner
Yeah.
decide to take. If you decide to use coaches or psychologists or psychotherapists
Yeah.
or counselors, it doesn't really matter, but they all are trained to help you to get there. And I didn't have the tools and we didn't look for help. So it made a huge difference. Now I have the tools. So now I stay on my toes.
Beautiful. Wow. All right. What other tips and tricks do you have for us?
Okay, so always both of you have to put the inner work in and you have to think everything in your relationship on the long term. Never think on the short term. Talk about each other of what do you want to achieve in life? Do you want to have children? How many children? Are you going to stay home or do you want to keep on working on your career? Get to a place where you understand where you want to live, everything that it coincide one with another, but talk about it on the long term. Don't just think, okay, maybe in 2 years I'll figure out if you want some kids. No, you have to, because then you're not totally invested.
Yeah.
So you have to think on the long term. Another thing that you need to do is to never stop courting each other. It doesn't matter if you're engaged or you live together or you're married, that things is not supposed to stop. Keep on
Mm-hmm.
going out on date nights, learn each other's love languages. And if you know your partner's love language, act on it. It doesn't help me, for example. I know my husband's is acts of service. If I knew that, but I didn't act on that, it's not going to help at all. And acts of service is not only, the little things you do here and there. Look for spaces. If he's busy installing a dishwasher, although I don't know how to do it, stand around, see where he's asking you, pass me the screwdriver or whatever, but be part of him, be there to be of service because that makes him feel like he have a teammate. That is very, very important. Also doing things together.
Yeah.
Find something that you have common interest in. Me and my husband loves playing tennis and we support each other when we have matches with the guys or the girls, but when there's mixed double seasons, we play together. And that is incredible how you build an intimate relationship when you do things like that together.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much. And let me ask, do you see any patterns that can unfortunately destroy relationships or rather quickly? Is there something
Oh,
maybe you want to give a little heads up to today?
oh, yes. One of the biggest ones I see is negativity.
Yeah.
And I would say the reason for that is because if you are negative and you are just in this negative pattern mindset, you only think and expect the worst of your partner instead of the best. And the truth is, you do not know what he's thinking. And you do not know how he's going to react in certain circumstances. You might think you know him that well, but you really don't know because you can't see in his mind. And the truth is, you should rather do it with good conversation, which, by the way, is one of the tips as well.
Yeah.
Good creative conversation, asking questions with a lot of curiosity. That way, he can actually um, tell you how he feels, what he thinks, and you don't assume nothing. And that way, you actually get to know your partner much better. And me and my husband have this way of communication analogy that we use in counseling. We use the utensils, and you always consistently think about how are you speaking to your spouse? How are you speaking to your partner? Am I using something like a fork? And I'm just keep on stabbing him with every word that comes out of my mouth? Or am I like a knife that's slashing him down and trying to demean him and tell him how bad he is? Or am I
Mm-hmm.
actually like a spoon, thinking
Uh,
about soft served ice cream, soft round edges? And in that way, I actually speak with him, to him with respect and love and understanding and patience. And if you think about that and you can start concentrating on every time you speak to him, and you say, okay, that was not very nice, I actually have
yeah.
to do that a little bit better. But if
Yeah.
you're actually attentive to that, you start seeing what way of utensil I'm using right now.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you for that because I think a lot of us suffer so much. And
Mm.
sometimes things do start destroying things, and we have to be aware of our action and also take accountability, which sometimes we don't,
No.
and maybe, there's these patterns, right? And maybe we should be more aware of what type of patterns are affecting, I guess, should I say, what are some hard patterns to be around with?
Yes, there are definitely two hard patterns to be around with. And the
Okay.
one is actually kind of just the opposite of the other one. That's how much people are different.
Okay.
And the first one is definitely the person that actually, when you're in a conversation, it gets heated and it starts going a little bit warm here between the two people. That is the kind of person that starts just raising their voice, throwing plates, slam the door, and on the end, they yell. And the truth is, you can do nothing in that kind of conversation. There is no way to have a proper structured conversation to get to the place to realize what is going on here. Because the one is just shutting down, the other one's just screaming louder. And sadly, us women are the ones that raise our voices and get to a pitch sometimes and start yelling. And the reason for that is because 95% of men are really just not good listeners.
Yeah.
They're not good listeners. They don't hear you when you speak. And now we think, okay, if I speak louder, if I raise my voice, if I finally yell, just maybe they will hear me. But it doesn't work because they just, move into a different room up here and they just don't listen
Yeah.
to you. They just build this wall. But what you actually should do is just the opposite. You just start speaking softer, speak lower pitch, because in that way they actually have to lean in to really hear you, and when they have to lean in to hear you, they actually listen. So
Interesting.
that pitching thing is not working. That's a very hard pattern to be around with. And the other one is just the opposite. That's the avoider. Whenever there is something that is difficult, they just don't want to have a conversation, they don't want to go in a fight, they sweep it under the rug. And both of that hard patterns, 95% of them end up in the divorce court. The avoider just takes longer to get there, but they both end up there.
Oh. My goodness. Thank you for sharing that. And we still have more time here on the show. It's exciting to talk to you, Elsa Nilson. Let's talk about people maybe going through a heartbreak, right? What would you say is the biggest misconception about that?
I would say for people to think, just get on with or get over it. Um, I actually think a heartbreak is a very important milestone
Okay.
in your life. And the
Mm-hmm.
reason why is because grief is the portal that helps you to get to know yourself better. So it's important after that breakup, when you go into that grief that you are missing this person, it didn't work out, you lost all this time, I'm lonely, my kids are heartbroken. When you go into that grief, you start understanding yourself better.
Sure do.
And that, yes, and that is why it's so extremely important. And people would say, just get over it. The truth is, there
Hate
is
that. I
no,
hate when someone says that, just get over it. It'll be fine. And it's just like, those are not the things you want to hear.
no, that's not what you want to hear. And the thing is, you can't put a timestamp on grief. I
No.
can't tell you, don't worry about me. In August the 15th, 2025, I'll be over my grief and I'll be moving on. I have no idea. So somebody else won't have an idea of your emotions and your feelings. So
Yeah.
the best thing is just to go through your breakup with grace. And when you get to the right place and you are ready to move on, you will move on, but no pressure. People can't decide for you.
Beautifully said. Oh, wow. We still have more here. I want to ask you, obviously, how did you kind of want to sum up today's show and add to, I mean, the work that you're doing as a coach and how you're helping couples and everything else, Elsa? How did you want to kind of sum up for today?
Well, I just first want to tell the listeners, I know a lot of you are a lot of times in dire straits and you feel like this marriage is just not working. This relationship is not going to make it, but there's always hope. Reach out, get some help, get somebody in your corner, and go and get the help. Now, both of you have to be all in
Okay.
to do the work to be able to make that a success. But if you both want it, it is 100% possible. It is not something also that you can say to your partner, okay, we've tried everything. I'll still go and go with this coach. And if that doesn't work, I'm just going to mark the box. I've done everything I can. I'm done with this. You can't just have that thinking. You have to get all in and work hard, but it's totally possible to be able to save your marriage.
Oh, beautifully said. Thank you so much. And always a pleasure having you here. A woman who wears many hats and is helping people in so many different areas. Wow. Thank you so much for being here, Elsa. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Jill. You have a wonderful day.
Now, tell us how we can reach out to you. Website, phone number, social media pages.
All right. Yeah, you can find me on my web. It's Divine Life and Health Coaching, but you can just look it up under hello at coachelsa.com. That will be the email, or just coachelsa.com. That's how you'll find me on the web. And if you're in the US, you can also call me at 770-548-3890.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Pleasure having you here. Great seeing your beautiful face smiling beautifully this morning and all happy and on a Monday. That's a rarity, but you have that
Yes,
energy.
yes.
You found happiness and you're helping others find happiness because we all could use a little guidance and help. Isn't that true, right?
Yes, that's very true. Thank you so much for your time, Jill. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you.
I appreciate it and looking forward to next week if we're back on. Are we?
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. And to all of our listeners, please stay tuned. We'll be right back with more.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.